Hello everybody, and welcome to the video notes for Unit 4, Day 21. And today we're going to be continuing our work with writing expressions, and we're actually going to be practicing with writing it for situations. First, we're going to start with practicing underlining and annotating keywords that we see in a statement. Here's how we're going to do that. And first, today's video is dedicated to Mario in 6C.
It's me, Mario.
And if you look at this first problem, the sum of twice b and 5. So we're going to start by underlining the words that tell us what kind of operations we're going to use. So I know sum, I'll underline that. And I always think it's also helpful if you're not sure what sum is, you can put a little annotation for plus sign. So I know I'm going to have a plus sign somewhere in my expression. The sum of twice b, so twice b, right? Remember, if you have twice something, that's the same thing as multiplying by 2, and it's b. So now I'm going to have 2 times b, or 2b, and then I also know that I'm going to have a 5 here. So now I can just look at my underlines and my annotations. I know I'm going to be adding 2b and a 5. So then it's really easy for me then to write my expression as 2b plus 5. Let's look at the next one. Let's underline and annotate the quotient. Okay, so I'm going to underline that because that tells me what kind of operation I'm doing. And quotient, if you don't remember, quotient is what you get when you divide things. So I'll put a little division symbol here above my word, so I know I'm doing that. And I know I'm dividing C here and D here. So now that I'm done underlining and annotating, I can write it out. The quotient of C and D is going to be C divided by D, or you could write this as C as the numerator, D as the denominator. Both of those answers mean the same thing, the quotient of C and D. We're going to do one more as a class. Let's look at C. A raised to the 5th power. So let's underline A raised to the 5th power, all of that. So whenever you see the word power, you always think exponents. So this means I'm going to have A to the 5th power. So 5 is going to be the exponent up there. Okay. And then increased. Increase is a key word here. Anytime you see increase, you think it's getting bigger, so you're adding. So we're going to put a plus sign above here. By the product of 5 and C. So product, I know I'm multiplying. And what am I multiplying? 5 and C. So I have 5 times C. So now I can just look at my underlines and my annotations. I start with A to the 5th. I know I'm adding it with 5 times C, so that when I write it as an expression, I can write out A to the 5th plus, and then instead of writing 5 times C, I can combine it and just write 5C. Now that we've done those 3 as a class, I want you to try D, E, and F on your own. So I'm going to have you pause and try those 3 on your own. And now you are resuming the video to check your work. Let's see how we did. Let's underline and annotate first. The quantity of A plus B. Let's underline all of that. And anytime you see the word quantity, you can think about parentheses. So we're going to have a parentheses. And then in our parentheses, we know we're going to have an A and then plus b. So that's the quantity of a plus b divided by, so divided, that helps us. We're going to use a division symbol, and divided by 4. So then it's really easy to go to our expression of the quantity of a plus b divided by 4. That's one way you can write it. Another way you can write this is a plus b as the numerator divided by 4, the denominator. If you got that on your own, 3 gold stars for you. Let's take a look at the next one. 10 less than. Let's underline that. Anytime you see less than, it means that you are subtracting 10 from something else. So it means we're going to have a minus 10 at the end. 10 less than, I always think it's helpful to annotate at the end, less than. The product, okay, so we're multiplying. 15 and c. So 15 and c. Now we can put it all together. 10 less than, so that's going to be at the end. The product of 15 and c, which is 15 times c, and I can just write that as 15c. So now I have the product of 15c and then 10 less than that. 3 gold stars if you got that one right. And in the last one, 5 times d then increased by 8. Let's annotate. 5 times d. Okay, that's just 5d. And then increased. Let's underline increased. I'm going to put a plus sign there by 8. So I can write that as 5d plus 8. 3 more gold stars if you got that one right. Okay, my guess is that you were able to do those 3 pretty well on your own, and now we're going to get it a little more challenging. So we're going to level up. We're going to underline and annotate again, but now instead of just reading statements like this, we're actually going to have situations. Let's take a look. Let's read number 1 together. Daisy has 4 more dollars than Jocelyn. If Y is the amount of money Jocelyn has, write an expression to show how much money Daisy has. Now let's read it again to annotate. So Daisy has 4 more dollars than Jocelyn. So 4 more dollars. We know that we're going to have a plus 4 somewhere. And Y is the amount of money Jocelyn has. So we're going to underline a Y and Jocelyn. I might even below here make a note that Jocelyn is equal to Y. So I can keep track of Y is how much money Jocelyn has. And I want to figure out how much money Daisy has. So how much does Daisy have? Well, I know that Daisy has 4 more dollars than Jocelyn. Well, how much does Jocelyn have? Jocelyn has Y. So that means Daisy has whatever Jocelyn has, but 4 more than that. So Daisy has Y plus $4. Let's try the next one. Mario is missing half of his assignments. Uh-oh, that means his grade must not be very good. If A represents the number of assignments, write an expression to show how many assignments Mario is missing. Let's read it one more time. Mario is missing half of his assignments. So half, all right, let's underline that. Half means we're always dividing something by 2. So I'll put divide by 2 here. A is the number of assignments. So let's keep a note of that, so that A equals the number of assignments and it's asking us to find how much he is missing. So I'm going to underline how much he's missing. That's what we're trying to find. A is the total number of assignments. He's missing half of that. So that means that Mario has the total number of assignments divided by 2. Or another way you can write this was A divided by 2. Okay. For the last two problems, I'm going to show you how you can annotate it, and then you're going to write the expression on your own. For number 3, Kyra's kickboard points have tripled since last month. If K represents the amount of kickboards Kyra had last month, write an expression to show how much Kyra has now. Okay, so Kyra's kickboard points have tripled. So let's underline tripled. Anytime something is tripling, it's getting multiplied by 3. So I know I'm going to be multiplying by 3, so I'll annotate times 3 above the tripled. K represents how much she had last month. So I'll make a note here, K equals last month. And it's asking us to show how much she has now. So we're trying to figure out if last month is K, now is how much. And this is what you're going to figure out. Based off of if K is last month and her points tripled, how can we write how much she has this month or now? Number 4, we'll annotate it together and then you'll solve it on your own. Mr. Yan combines his computers and his headphones and then divides them among 10 different tables. If C represents the number of computers and H represents the number of headphones that Mr. Yan has, write an expression to show how many total items will be on each table. Okay, a lot going on here, but we can break it down. I'm combining my computers and my headphones. I'm dividing them among 10 different tables. Let's underline divide. So now I'm going to be dividing. And there's 10 different tables. So now I'm going to be dividing it into 10 different parts. C represents the number of computers, so I can make a note here. If C is computers and H is headphones, another thing that might be helpful to annotate is combines. So let's underline combines. And anytime you're combining two things, you're adding them. Okay, so remember we're going to be adding something, and then we're going to be dividing it into 10 different groups. We have C, the number of computers. We have H, the number of headphones. We're combining them, and we're dividing them into 10 different tables. So you are going to write your expression for items on each table. So total items on each table. That's what we're trying to find. What will that be equal to? That's where you're going to write your expression. So when you have these two expressions, you can raise your hand and I will check your work and then give you your ticket.
Thank you so much for playing my game.